Wow. For episode 10, we have a very special guest on the podcast today. It's my very own wife that I've been talking about for now 10 episodes. And I told her, hey, episode 10 is a huge milestone for me in my career. And it would mean a lot to me if you joined me on that episode. And it took quite some convincing, but she's here.
Wrong. So, I think my exact words were "consider it done."
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us your name, who you are.
Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone listening would know me though, but
you don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, just in case. My name is Sarah. I'm Ryan's wife. He forgot to introduce Bud. Bud's here also.
No, he was here on a couple episodes ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't know that because you don't fucking listen to it.
Yes, I do.
Sure thing. So, Sarah, why don't you tell us about some of your hobbies? Of course, we can run through the list of things I would like to talk about, but This is a very rare occasion that we would have you join the podcast for the day. So why don't...
Okay, what genre of hobby are you looking for?
What interests you as of late? What do you what's like give us something here. Let's see.
Okay, well, let's see. I've got about 47 different self-help books. Okay. So we'll start there.
Okay, great. What's the most
So I like helping myself. Great. Let's see what else. I like hanging out with Bud. I like hanging out with you. I like going for little hikes, exploring Nashville, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
I like my little morning meditations.
Okay. Can you give us what's like one of your like most favorite recent spiritual concepts? Let's go down that route.
My most
we talk about
recent...
a lot of spiritual
yeah, that's true. That's also true. What are you looking at?
I hate to bother you, but could you be a little more consistent with your
sure
with your vocal exercises? Thanks.
Sure. Okay, so what are you...
You're throwing the podcast for a loop here. Like right now, I'm good. You need to talk, angle your mouth right there.
Got it.
Now that sounds good. I think that sounded pretty good.
Okay.
All right, cool. Keep that.
That's great. Now, are you going to bring it back to where we were?
Yeah.
I'm just going to take care of the attention span here.
What? Yeah, go.
Okay, so you had previously asked.
You were here to spread some sort of... You're like the spiritual... Messiah that I thought I'd never have in my life, and here you are. So why don't you
Messiah.
Yeah, why don't you lead us? Either that or we can talk about ridiculous shit. You can talk about...
Let me just answer your question. Let's start there. You ask me one question, I'll answer you a question, okay? Right. I like that format.
All right, cool.
Okay, so you had asked me what's my favorite recent spiritual concept. Hun, the volume will be fine, I swear.
Okay.
And I think that my most favorite recent spiritual concept is just this idea that we're all brought into the universe with a unique set of strengths. And I truly, truly believe that we all have a foundational purpose in our lives.
Okay.
And I think that when humans are out of alignment or suffering in some way, shape, or form, I think oftentimes it means you're really far from your purpose in this world.
Okay.
So that's my favorite recent concept.
Where did you read that? Somewhere?
No.
Was that in a book?
No, I went to a lot of therapy. And and there's also, well, no, that's not true. There's also this cool book that I started reading over the holidays. It's called The Alchemist. And it's a...
Wait, is that how you say that? Or do you say alchemist? Is it all?
I don't know. I think it depends on your accent.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Same book. You can Google it. And it was written by this gentleman. I think he's from Brazil, but it's about this young shepherd that basically goes on his life's journey. And so it's one big, giant fictional metaphor for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
What's your favorite, most recent spiritual concept?
Wow. My most recent favorite spiritual concept doesn't exist. You know why?
That's not true.
What?
That's not true.
You think it does?
Yes.
All right, what is it?
Dig a little deeper.
Oh, what is this, therapy for me?
No.
It should be. Let's do that. Can we go through therapy for your husband?
No.
Why not? Dude, this is such a fucking pain in my ass.
Just go with it. It's fine.
Go with what?
Just quit tinkering.
I can't help.
I know, I can tell.
It's not consistent at all. I don't do podcasts this way.
Do you want to start over?
No.
Okay, then ride with it.
All right, go.
And make a concerted effort.
Go.
I asked you a question.
What? My favorite spiritual concept?
Yeah.
Reincarnation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think I'm in the belief that if you go about this life and you fuck it up and you do not do the things you're supposed to do or are gifted to do, back of the fucking line, you have to go again. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's not like we're all having. I would say we're having fun, right? I would hope people are having fun. Yes, but I would not say that like the world is a fucking great place. You know, so it's like if we're gonna stick it out for hopefully 90 plus years, you might as well make the fucking best of it and achieve the things that you want to achieve, see the places you want to see, go the places you want to go, meet the people you want to meet, spend the time with the people you want to spend time with. Like, yeah. And if you half-ass it, yeah, or if you're a piece of shit, or if you, I don't know, give up on your shit, in my head, I imagine back of the fucking line.
What do you mean back of the line?
I mean back of the line is in try again, right?
Like you become a crow?
Go another 100 years. No, I don't think you become a crow.
But reincarnation is like you get reincarnated into whatever else.
So, okay.
You're saying like multiple human lives?
So what's that then?
I don't know.
So what's multiple human lives if it's not reincarnation?
Multiple lives. I don't know.
Okay, so you live...
Many lives, many masters. That's a book as well.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. Just do your own fucking podcast about this shit.
Anyway, what else is on the docket? What else do you want to talk about?
What do you mean?
Anything else?
Why? Because you're already itching to leave?
No, of course not.
10 minutes too long?
Of course not.
Listen, it really means the world to me that you're here today.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your favorite part about my podcast? From the ones that you've listened to. What do you think what's your favorite topic that I've talked about? Let's go there. Okay. What do you think is like, I don't know, if you had to pick one, like what was like the funniest part you listened to?
Okay. I see your checkmate, but I'm not going to give it to you because I actually have listened to a few of them. Granted, and I think your many, many listeners would understand that I live with you, so I see these things out in real life. But you talk about analysis paralysis, you talk about just doing things, not overthinking it so much. That's the whole concept of the podcast.
Do you think that you overthink?
Of course I think I overthink.
What's one of the things that you want to do?
With my life?
With not overthinking. Like, what's one thing that you think that you overthink and do not do that you want to think less about and do more?
Well, I think just in general, putting my original thoughts into the universe instead of regurgitating somebody else's. You know?
Is that even possible, though? Can
Yes.
one person be entirely original?
Absolutely not. Well, potentially.
Because
I
you're
mean, I don't
influenced
know.
by other shit, right? You're influenced by, like, books that you read. You would start
Yeah.
talking or referencing or, sprinkling in.
Sure, but that's just being well read. I mean, I think.
But that's also, like, if you wanted to say a music producer or a comedian or,
Yeah.
like, podcasters, right? You could easily argue that people... Look, he's sleeping in your arm.
He's so sweet.
Buddy's also joining us, if you're listening and not watching. You could also argue that, like, anybody with any sort of, I don't know.
So here's the thing. Here's the distinction for me is I feel like current state, let's just take Instagram as an example. I spend a decent amount of time on Instagram, listening to a few people, just reading their thoughts, reading their posts, things like that, and I'll like reshare them like, oh, that's a really articulate way to say XYZ. Right? And I'll like reshare it or whatever. Just stuff like that.
Okay.
I think that I could be better about, and I will be better about, just digging deeper and creating within myself rather than just consuming somebody else's creation.
Do you think that waters down your, like, originality and your creativity when you're, like, viewing all these other... Because we've had that conversation before where I tell you, like, it would be really cool if you do this, and then you go, oh, well, like... It looks like this when other people do it, or this person's already doing it and it's annoying, and like people kind of like ruin it. You know what I'm saying? Like would it better help you if you were to use? I think for everybody, right? If do you think everyone would benefit from not? I mean, it would eliminate the purpose of social media if you were to hop on social media and not view anyone else's shit and then just post your original shit. Obviously,
yeah.
People, you still need people to look at your shit and whatever and interact with it. But I guess you as like an original thought creator,
yeah, would
it better serve you to just unfollow everyone and then just post like that? Like would it like
not
like
really
Jesus?
Not really. I don't think so.
Do you
I don't think
when
so.
Jesus comes back, he's gonna like get social media? What are your
well,
thoughts
hun,
there?
I guess my thoughts on Jesus go a lot deeper than that. Probably not appropriate for this podcast. Otherwise, you're really going to narrow your listening audience.
Yeah, well, I only have 2, so I'll bring it from 2 down to fucking 1.
No, I think that everyone on planet Earth, I mean, you have to consume. It's a way of living. It's how you're taught. You have to educate yourself. But I think that, I do get too caught up in thinking about how I'm going to be received rather than just putting myself out there. And that's my biggest handicap in life. And that's something that I have to move past. Like, I've had a lot of practice in education and in the professional work sphere and all this stuff, but I haven't had much practice at all, with putting myself out there creatively. Since probably like middle school, I would say. So now, yeah.
When you do, like, how do you want to do it? How do you, like, do you want to do like a book of poetry? Do you want to do like a poem a day? Do you want to do like a whole book of original writing and concepts and whatever? Like,
I think those all sound great, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So I guess we'll see.
Fascinating.
Stay tuned.
When can we expect the first book?
Don't rush the process.
Can you? Listen, my son is a big fan. Could you sign this for him? Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us. I think 15 minutes is pretty good, right?
Yeah. Do you want me to leave? Is that the end of my
No,
sesh?
I'm joking.
Okay. Just checking.
So, I don't know. What else is new? What else are you doing? What else excites you? What are you doing to work through the bullshit that you fucking hate and that makes you feel dead inside? What are you doing to, like, lift your spirit?
Ew.
How do you do that?
Well, I don't do it every day. Let's start there. But I have this idea lately that instead of calling it a morning routine, I have to reframe it in my head to become a morning ritual and something I just do every morning to get myself started, because I feel like that's what makes me feel better when I start the day, even if I do have to, go to work and have a corporate job and do all these things. So, like reading, meditating, exercising. I haven't been very good at that this week. I can't get into a Orange Theory class to save my life. So I haven't done that yet this week, but those kinds of things. I mean, just like self-care stuff. I don't know. What do you do to make yourself feel alive?
This. Pretend I have a fucking audience to talk to. I don't know. That's what I do. I talk to my camera like I was telling you, like I have all of these fucking great ideas for marketing and for just like video content for companies and shit.
Yeah.
And it chaps my fucking ass when like nobody bats an eye at the ideas or whatever, like or wants to take a chance on me, or wants to like hire me on for a certain project. Like I would much rather, I don't know what it looks like, but I would much rather like spend that time like capitalizing on those ideas for me, as like self-centered and selfish as those that sounds like.
I don't think that's self-centered and selfish. I think that's you zeroing in on what you want.
That's what I want.
Okay.
I don't want to do this shit for other people for the rest of my life. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's tough to like pinpoint, but like there's something about.
Seems like it's right on the tip of your tongue, but you're deciding whether you want to put it out into the universe or not.
I am doing that.
Is that what it is?
That's exactly what that is.
Do you want me to like dig deeper, or is now the time where I pivot onto something else?
Why don't you dig deeper?
Okay.
Let's get in. Let's get in on the shit.
Okay.
Okay.
So is this a moment in time thing because you're frustrated, or is this like an existential thing, like long term you don't want to be doing it? Yeah.
This is long term. And I would say it's only because of like what I have discovered recently through efforts of work and my own labor. But I think everyone has that sort of moment. Like I don't know, I talk about when you go to work and you're helping move things along. This isn't like just you, this is like anybody or at a previous job. It's for sure me at a previous job, for sure me in like the field that I currently work in. It's like you're helping bring to life like somebody else's passion and dream and do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I think I think again it comes down to like true like passion, and I think it comes down to like there are some people in the world that are just, I think, are born and bred like true helpers, and their mind just works in this way. Sure. And that's what they're put on earth to do. And so I get that. I don't think everybody is bred to be an entrepreneur or creative or what have you. Does it have to be that?
Does it have to be entrepreneur or creative? Like, can't someone just capitalize on a passion?
Yeah, isn't that what you're doing?
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I would say I'm doing that very poorly as of recently.
Yeah, but I think the question is you doing this for other people.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do this for other people, and I don't want to do this for other people. I do because it's me creating. Like it's borderline acceptable because I enjoy creating, and I enjoy bringing content to life. I enjoy capturing moments in time. I enjoy like getting intricate with the lighting design and editing and music and the pacing. I like doing that shit. But to me, I just would rather do that for myself, and I don't know what that looks like. That's why I talk about, like, if you and I were to create something one day, whatever it is, I would film the fuck out of it because I would actually care about it. You know what I'm saying? I would actually want to bring it to life. And that's not to say that I don't actually want to bring to life other people's visions and dreams and work. It's just...
Well, here's the thing. And here's, like, the real defining line for me. I think that there are people out there that are super passionate about just videography, period. I don't think you fall into that boat. I think, yes, you like videography, but honestly, I would hedge a bet what you like even more than videography and why you find yourself doing this podcast every week is because you're really, like, an entertainer at heart. I think you are. And so I think, like, that's this other muscle that needs to be exercised. And so that feels like that's why you're driving so hard toward, you know, doing this stuff for yourself someday. That's not to say you don't enjoy all these other projects that you're doing, but it's not like the gold mine for you. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think that's...
Also, you got to stop looking over at that thing because it distracts me and it's hard to have a conversation.
What? We're fine.
I know, but I'm telling you, I need, like, this kind of conversation with you, not, like, looking at that.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
Okay, I'm just
I
saying.
love you.
Love you too.
Right, wow. That's great. That's great to hear. No, you're pretty spot on with that, I think. I think the way that yeah, it's like what Austin reamed me for when he came out saying that, like, the shit that I preach about. I don't know. I just want to help people like realize their fucking potential.
But don't you feel like at the heart of that is really just you projecting onto other people?
No.
Okay, because I do.
I don't think I'm fucking projecting.
Oh, hell yeah, you are.
Okay, sure. But
of course you are.
But it's more of, like, learn from my fucking mistakes and, like, my, like, awakening of these ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it is. That's how I view it. I don't view it as, like projecting to me is, like, I'm not doing these things, so I need to, like, make other people feel like that, too. Does that make, like...
Yeah, but I think in a way that's what you are doing is because you feel like you haven't,
I feel like I'm doing everything in my fucking power.
Hun, are you going to let me finish my sentence?
Sorry, please continue.
This is life with someone who's severely ADHD. Anyway, no, I'm not saying... I think we all have a tendency to project. Sure. And we do it every single day, but I'm saying your special form of projection is telling everybody that they need to pursue their dreams and believe in themselves and do all these things. But that at the core is what you need to hear, so that's why you're feeding it to everybody else.
Guess what? Nobody would fucking tell me that. I wish people would.
I tell you that every day.
You're my wife. So, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that fucking sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, but it sucks that, like, that until I'm, 26?
Okay.
That I'm just now hearing this shit. Like, to me, even if one person listens to me and goes, "Oh my fucking god, I want to quit my fucking job right now," great, mission accomplished. Unless I'm just convincing people to quit their jobs for no fucking reason, and then
that would be a very bad thing.
And then they go, now what? That would be...
Because then I would have to pay taxes for their ass, which would make me really unhappy.
Wow. Tennessee's really done you a number, huh?
Yeah, it has. Let's talk about that.
So, I don't know.
Anyways, you're well on your way. Your encouragements to others are not in vain. I think that people appreciate it, and I think it's one of those... Oh, buddy, that was Bud saying, follow your dreams.
Thanks.
No, but I think it's one of those slow burn things. Like, nobody hears something prolific and says, oh my God, well, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow and change my whole fucking life. No, they hear something prolific and then it's a seed in their head, and then they hear 67 more things over the course of 6 months, and then 8 months later, they might take a step in the right direction.
Sure.
Like, this is just humans.
So that's what I do here. I plant seeds.
Lots of them.
And hopefully all good ones.
Yeah.
Hopefully nice, tasty seeds that will grow into a tree full of life and fulfillment.
Why don't you clarify right now that that's not a giant sexual innuendo? That was
tasty
the worst metaphor I've ever heard in my entire life. And thank God I was here to catch it.
I'm just planting tasty seeds.
Okay, anyway, moving on. Next
topic. We really should, even though, let's talk about not drinking anymore, yet you're drinking right here.
Sure. A glass of wine.
What's that all about? I want to be drinking. Do you understand what that does to me?
You want to be drinking? I thought you said you don't want to.
I don't. But it's like I'm trying to scare myself straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to fucking rip the Band-Aid off and just say none of this, none of that, none of this, none of that. And I'm trying to change.
I feel like that's the core of the issue, though.
Why? To
be honest, because you're so black and white and you're like, oh, life exists in these black and white terms. Things are black or white, good or bad. Sure. You know,
okay, but you tell me, you think you think you're gonna feel good in the morning after alcohol? You think you're gonna
after one glass of wine? Yeah, I'll be fine. The problem for me and the distinction for me is, am I drinking just to have one glass of wine because I enjoy a glass of wine at night, or am I drinking to catch a buzz? And I think that they're two totally different things. And they're two totally different outcomes. And I don't really enjoy drinking to catch a buzz and going out and partying and doing all this stuff anymore because I have this emotional hangover in the morning where my brain just can't catch up. But if I'm just sitting here with my husband doing nothing at night, reading and having a glass of wine and then drinking a bottle of water, who cares? Yeah, sure. I just don't
call this doing nothing?
No, I was referring to every other night besides tonight if we were doing nothing, But you get the point. I think that there's a difference between using substance to numb yourself and just having something because you enjoy it.
Fair
and
enough.
I would like to stay away from numbing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I do want alcohol right now, though.
To numb? Because you're nervous?
Not sure. Mate, I'm not nervous.
I'm just checking.
I was. Were you nervous? Is that why you never came on the podcast? Do you think you'll ever come on the podcast again? Are you having fun?
Yeah, I'll do every 10 episodes with you.
What the
10,
fuck?
20, 30.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why not? Every 10th
How about
episode.
every other?
Why? Because you like having Bud and I on?
I enjoy having you on. I talk about it every fucking podcast.
Okay, we'll negotiate every 5.
Just do your own thing. How about?
I will eventually. Calm down.
No, your own podcast. I think you'd be really good at it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually. Eventually we'll do that.
Can you take this little creature back? I gotta go reset the camera.
Okay. Are we pausing now? Is that what this is?
We can pause, or you can continue talking. Whatever you'd like.
Can I have a pillow for Bud?
Sure.
He wants to lay between us, I'm sensing.
I'm pitting out.
Why? Because you're nervous?
Yeah. You make me nervous.
Here, a bedtime. You want to sleep here?
See, that was 30 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Time flies.
She goes, okay, how long are your podcasts? I go, oh, well, I go for an hour, but you can leave whenever you want. That's what I told her. And she goes, an hour? She goes, Dax Shepard doesn't even talk for an hour. Okay, well, this isn't Dax Shepard's podcast, all right? And
But that's Bud saying, don't make fun of me.
That's Buddy saying, go 30 more minutes.
Okay, fair enough.
He's entertained. Does he need to go somewhere?
No, he sees a ghost. I think he sees ghosts in the house sometimes.
Maybe not the time to tell me we have ghosts in the house. I slept on the ground last night.
Okay.
That's mainly.
Bud didn't like it.
Well, yeah, no, he didn't. Where my mind went.
Come here, Bubba.
Where my mind went was man, I have the brain of a toddler. Sometimes I feel like
you just have to,
But no, where my mind went was it's gonna be really scary now to be by myself in other rooms. That's where my mind went. If we have ghosts, I don't want to be left alone, but I slept alone last night on the ground, on the
Yeah.
floor of this room.
Yeah.
What if
So?
there were ghosts tickling my toes
It
while
was
I
a
was
friendly
sleeping?
one. So if it was an angry one, we would have known by now.
Do you know what I saw today? I saw something. Somebody said when there was like a ghost hunter thing, right? It was like a video, right?
Okay.
And somebody commented and said, "Do you think the way that we hear ghosts, quote unquote, hear ghosts? I don't know if anyone's ever heard a ghost before, but the way we hear ghosts and we're like, oh my god, we're being haunted. Do you think in the other realm that we are the ones haunting them? We are the ones stomping around in their house?"
Sure,
And
like
it's just
ants,
flip-flopped?
termites, mice, rats.
What about those? Are those ghosts? What are you saying?
I don't know. They just think we're like these
fuck?
evil creatures haunting them. Whatever lives under our house. Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and...
Is that
Oh,
not,
great! I think you
is
answered.
that
I
not
think
the
we
point?
got the answer of that one right there. Yeah, like ants, mice, tortoises,
Okay.
all household creatures.
Anyway, this is circling the drain. Let me change the subject. I'm going to do everyone a favor.
Great, go for it.
Okay. Did you talk about last week how that guy literally drove into our fucking mailbox?
Yeah, I did.
Unreal.
I mean, if you listen to the podcast even once, I think you would have heard that.
Okay, I already said I've listened to like 5 of them.
Yeah, well,
So,
obviously not 5.
you're right.
Enough.
Not the most recent. It's been a busy week.
Now,
Hey, can you take the watch off and
What?
like quit with the distractions? Holy.
dude, it's like sensory overload having you on this thing, and I don't understand.
Sensory overload.
Yeah,
You're
like-
not normally like this?
No, I am, but usually it's just me, so I'm
So
able to
nobody
like...
calls you out?
Well, yeah, and I can just do whatever the fuck I want. But instead, I'm having you call me out on all, like, nervous tics and, like, things that I do. And
Well, that's okay.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You'll be fine.
What if I started crying? I almost cried today
About?
when I told you I wanted to. When I told you I was tired and I felt like I wanted
Yes.
to give up on my shit.
Okay,
This
so
morning.
let's talk about that.
Well, I don't know. There's not much to talk about there.
You just were stressed. You were
I was
having a
very
stressful moment.
stressed.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who's the little one that's talking? Is that me? What's happening?
Yeah, it is you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be blaring in people's ears. Which way are you talking? Is that better?
This way.
Hello. Is that better?
You know, honestly,
Like that
I
little,
don't-
the little
I
things.
think,
Maybe like
hun,
this.
I'm telling
Are
you,
talking
I
like this?
swear.
Hello. What?
People-
And Buddy's got to chill and you got to
Okay.
wrangle this little rat dog in.
Here's this other ground rule I'm gonna set right now for the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure. Do I need to be this close?
I don't
In
know
order
what
to have things make
phone
sense.
on the ground.
Okay, it's on the ground.
Okay. Here's the other thing.
What?
Nobody cares what the sound is. I think at this point they're listening to us for entertainment and not professional sound. We'll figure the sound out next time. How's that?
What, in 5 episodes?
Yeah. You've got 5 episodes.
I'm really excited to
figure
go
it
back
out.
to the old format.
Is it so much better?
No, it's not. It's just I know the settings and I can do all my ticks and things and interrupt myself.
Okay.
Buddy. You can hear him licking into the mic and it's like ASMR and it's disgusting.
Trying to lick Ryan's nose. Okay.
That's
enough.
fucking gross.
Enough.
You can hear him go.
Enough. Okay. So,
what?
well, let's think. 3-month goal. What's your 3-month goal for yourself? Put it out into the universe.
3-month goal
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Don't have one.
None at all.
Self-discovery.
Okay.
Happiness. Fulfillment.
Okay. Do you feel fulfilled?
I feel fulfilled in some parts of my life.
Like which ones?
The parts that don't require income.
That's so honest.
That's where I feel fulfilled.
That's fair.
Because income's been a fucking bitch lately, and I understand COVID, and I understand, new climate of business, and I'm planting these seeds all around Nashville and just seeing like what happens with all of it, but can't really count on much right now, so that fucking sucks. So fulfillment would be a good one. What about you? What do you want to do? What's 3-month goal for you?
3-month goal is I think first things first, in the next week or so I'm getting a new computer, right?
Yes.
Which is kind of a big deal because I've just had a work computer the last few years and I didn't really feel like I needed my own computer, but it'll give me some... Bud's done with me now. It'll give me some creative space and will enable me to do a little bit more self-discovery.
Okay.
And so 3-month goal is I would like to put some of my work out there publicly within 3 months.
What is that?
I don't know. I guess you'll have to wait and see.
The anticipation's killing me. What do you want to put out? What's the first thing you want to put out?
Well, again, I said let's wait and see.
What's the first thing that interests you that you want to put out?
I don't know.
Really?
Well, I do know what interests me. I don't know the format.
So
the issue is I don't understand the format
I'll help
yet.
You. Say it.
I truly believe that I've been going through this journey over the last couple of years, like a transformation of sorts, kind of, I would say not even buying myself, but creating my own freedom in life. Like walking through some hard shit, figuring out what I want to do with my life, figuring out how not to be an approval junkie, how to like truly figure out who I am and what makes me happy, and then move from there. And
what did you, real quick, because I think that's valuable.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
What did you, continue what you're going to say, because I will ADHD this bitch right off the rails. So
I felt it heading that direction, but I was going to let you go, maybe.
Wow. This is so kind of you. Go. Continue your thought. I will pay. Do you think teachers hated my ass?
Probably.
You think?
Oh,
That's what I'm starting to think. I'm thinking I was like a fucking bitch to deal with.
So you've now completely gone in a 180 the other way. So are we circling back, or are we going to stay with your thought?
I'll circle back.
Okay. Anyway, so I've gone through this transformation as of late. It'll be a lifelong process for me, but I think that my point and my purpose in this world is helping other people walk through that same thing, finding personal freedom, ditching the shitty job that doesn't make you happy, reconfiguring your idea of success on planet Earth and what that looks like, and just helping people figure out like how to re-engineer their lives. So I think I have something to say in that space. Stop with the audio thing. We're done with that now. We're moving on.
Was it the audio thing?
Okay.
That was me raising my hand.
Okay.
I have
okay.
a question.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna put some stuff out there. Wait and see. Anyway, go ahead now with your teacher.
That's the stuff I was talking about. Is the world could actually benefit from what Sarah has to say, me, not so much. So
that's not true.
That is fucking true. Like, I swear to God, whatever it is that you put out there is 10 times more important and valuable to the human ears and consciousness than whatever the fuck I do. So
respectfully, it's equal but different. I think humans need to be entertained and need to have some levity and need to have some like laughter. And then I also think humans need to get cerebral and think about what the fuck they're doing with their lives and really evaluate. And I think that you can hold those two things equal but separate.
How much time do we have?
I don't know.
Because I want to ask you. Okay, we have 18 minutes until we hit an hour.
Why? Because everyone's counting down.
No. Yeah, 18 minutes until it's an hour.
Okay.
I try to go as close as I can.
Okay.
Now, what I was going to ask you is you were talking about what you've been through. Talk about that. Talk about what you went through and like your turning point and what you've done, because you talk about like you've put in all this work and you want to help people kind of come to terms with. Just do your thing.
Okay.
Because that's important.
Okay, how about I do the like highlight reel?
Yeah, do the highlight reel. You don't have to.
Okay.
Because you could do your fucking thing however you're going to do it.
Sure.
You can tell your story, you can help people, but
sure.
You know, give them like that.
We'll give the 10-year highlight reel, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's see. I did not know who I was, I think, for a long time. I knew what I was good at and what I could get by doing, and I knew how to do things that I was recognized for, right? So it was like sports, it was doing well in school, it was going out and getting a job and like white knuckling it through that. And
what
so
do you mean by what?
For the audience members that don't know that reference, white knuckling gets thrown around the household quite a bit, so we're both on the same page there. Other people may not know what that is, so why don't you explain that?
White knuckling it in the sense of, you know, as an example, going to this job every day that I wasn't necessarily passionate about, that wasn't really like a core part of who I am, but I just forced myself to do it every day because I was like a hamster in a wheel, and when I ran around the wheel, money popped out. So I kept doing it. So
my argument with that is that's what everyone fucking does. So
well, exactly. That's the point. That's why.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier. And you're like, well, some people aren't. So in this case, you're telling me some people are meant to be hamsters.
No.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't think people are just meant to mindlessly numb themselves and go to work and get this paycheck and cash in, cash out.
So what else are they meant to do?
To figure out what their purpose in this world. But I think...
Well, then they become like passion chasers or creatives or entrepreneurs, right? Then we're back to...
No, some people find purpose through service. You know? Some people are true, like, servant heart kind of, you know? And so that's why I'm saying I think you get caught in this, like, creative entrepreneur bubble, but that's just one type of personality that exists on planet Earth, right?
Sure.
That's my point.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyway.
Continue.
So, what were we talking about? I forgot now.
You were talking about white knuckling.
Yeah, so I graduated school with a bunch of debt, was super scared, didn't know who I was an approval junkie, wanted to get affirmation, but didn't know how, right? And so I just went out and I found a job and I figured out how to make money pretty quick, and then I got good at it, and that became my identity, and it got really, really hollow really, really quick because it wasn't me. Long story short, it wasn't me. Like, I was just doing this thing that society told me to do because I wanted to be successful. I wanted to have a house. I wanted to pay off my debt. I wanted to make 6 figures in a year, and I was well on my way through that road, and I came home every day, and all I wanted to do was have a glass of wine and eat dinner and pass out on the couch, and I realized, like, this cannot be my life.
I saw today, going off of that, I saw a guy post today about how he goes to his job, and while at that job, all he thinks about is coming home, laying on the couch, and taking a nap. And he says that's what he wants to do 8 hours a day. That's what he feels like doing 8 hours a day.
That's sad.
Then he goes home, and then he has all this like pent up energy, so he like works out, does whatever, and then he says he doesn't want to go to sleep because to him, if he goes to sleep, the following hours that like he'll be done with the rest of the day that gave him the free time, right? And then the minute his eyes open, it's going to be another excruciating 8 hours where all he's thinking about is going home, taking a fucking nap, laying on the couch, and so he'll stay up. So he said he's in this constant rotation of like valuing every second, but being like petrified in fear and like not wanting to do anything because he's exhausted. And then he'll go to sleep, and then he's like, the minute I wake up, I'm like depressed and pissed off, and I do that 5 days in a row.
That is so fucking sad and also so painfully common. Like, almost every single person I know that I used to work with exist that way.
I mean, that's
and it's so sad.
I would say you and I.
That's 100% how I existed, you know? And then I think I started figuring my shit out and started realizing, like, I don't want to live my entire life waiting for 6:00 p.m. and the weekend and not having time for myself.
Yeah.
You know, sitting on a boatload of cash doing nothing with it for the rest of, you know, like how depressing is that? It's just hollow. And then you die and you have this mound of cash, but you've left like no personal legacy. Nobody knows who the hell you are.
Well, okay, so what you were saying right there, like, that's why as of today we talked about, like, no excessive Hulu, right? Or no, like, excessive streaming, no fucking, no Xbox, no, I said no alcohol, but apparently
I'm my own independent woman.
Yeah, there you go. Amen, sister. And, that is so fucking loud. Every time I do my podcast on Tuesdays, this car rolls up and does this.
Did you tell him you're really famous and you do this podcast? I said,
and
could you please quiet
ass,
down?
Hey, dick ass, turn that off. Now, I was talking about developing habits that don't follow suit with these other people that daydream about taking naps on the couch and excessively drinking on the weekends.
Totally. You got to do something different if you want different results.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like not a lot of people get that. And I feel like Gary Vee preached that a lot. Like, that was kind of like my revelation today was Gary Vee. All I heard, I kept hearing him say, like,
people living for the weekend and how you shouldn't dread Monday coming around. And
and then he was also talking about, like, he was like, let's talk about how much time you're spending doing X, Y, and Z thing. You know what I'm saying? And I heard that for years and years and years, but I never really knew what it meant. But I think what he's trying to say is like, if you want something different, you cannot be doing the same shit as everybody else, right? Those platforms are in place to target that specific human being. Like, every time we watch The Bachelor, which RIP, are we still going to be able to watch it?
No,
we're not going to know how it ends?
No, I guess.
Fuck! Dude, we're going to have to watch the highlights on Twitter. Every time we watch Hulu together, those ads would come up, and you would hear me go, oh my fucking God. Because those ads are targeted to that audience of people that excessively drink, live for the weekends, like dread Mondays, like that rotation of people.
Numbness and paralysis.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the fucking, like, the modern day American human is that. And that freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I don't want anything to do with that. So that's why, like, we had that conversation
I think you get so, like, wrapped up in being panicked about it, though. But as long as you're having the conversation and you're taking inventory of your life, that's half the battle. If you're not even interested in having the conversation, and if that stuff flies right over your head,
and you're watching the
you're in trouble.
Chevy truck month
totally,
ad,
and you're like, this is life. Yeah,
I want that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a cool truck, man.
Anyways, I think this comes back to the idea of something I've been thinking a lot about lately, which is how often are you consuming versus creating? And when I look at my life, I want to have a more equal balance, because I think in the past it's like, wake up, drink coffee, consume, eat breakfast, consume, go to 6 meetings in a row, consume information, take a break, have lunch, consume food, go back to work, consume information, consume meetings, whatever, not doing anything super stimulating, get off work, then you're consuming dinner, consuming Netflix, consuming Hulu, consuming Xbox in your case, right? It's like, I need to re-engineer my life, which I'm actively doing, to carve out little times during the day where instead of just going straight to consumption, it's like, no, I'm going to pause and take a breath and think critically and have some form of original thought and creativity in my brain. Start my day on that foundation, and then integrate little pieces of that throughout the day. And make that a lifestyle. And I think that is a part of the human experience that a lot of people fundamentally miss. You know, they're like, oh, I'm not creative. Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, for me, like, I think back to, like, when you were talking about the balance, right? I think back to in Bellevue when I was making, like, weekly videos or whatever. The balance was, like, 5% effort in a week's time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there should be no reason that it should be like a 50-50 split for you, right? You do the things that you need to do. You network, you go to your job, you complete the tasks that you have to do in a day. But then there's no reason that another 50% of your brain should be able to turn on or be like interwoven throughout that other 50%.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other thing too, is you have to find, maybe you can't work in your passion immediately, but you can at least allow a career that doesn't eat up so much of your mind that both of these halves of your, your right brain, left brain can't coexist. Like, I think that's super important too.
You're pretty smart. Do you know that?
Thanks, hon.
You're smart as fuck. You're like
too.
one of the smartest human beings I know.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
You're also married to me, though, so you're kind of required to think that.
No, I'm fucking not.
You're not married to me?
No,
or you're
I'm
not
not required to think shit.
Okay, I was going to say.
I could be married to you for any other reason. Like, I don't have to. But I, honest to God, think that. I think what you're teeing yourself up to do, like, okay, so like I preach about all this fucking shit, right? All this just word vomit everywhere.
Sure.
I go into every room in the house and I go in and I litter it with my fucking words and I walk out. That's what I do 90% of the day.
You're also pretty self-deprecating.
Well, that's what I do though.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
And what you're about to do, what you're on the cusp of doing is massive. It's bigger than like anything I could ever imagine. I think it's bigger than anything that you're able to like fully grasp. But like, you're so fucking close to capitalizing on whatever this is. And I'm like so excited to see whatever you end up doing. And I think it's going to be massive. Whatever it is, it's going to be fucking huge. And I tell you all the time, however I'm able to help, if that's like providing video content, if that's editing something, if that's, I don't know, helping you however I can, like, I want to play that role because I want to see you succeed and fucking kick ass, because you've been revving up to this point since I've known you for 4 years now. And every, like, for the first 3 years, I feel like you're like crawling. You're like gearing up for a full-on fucking sprint to the finish. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thank you. That's very sweet, and you're always so supportive. I could not ask for anything else.
You want to make out?
Thank you. Not right now, no.
Okay.
Thanks for the offer,
Yeah,
though.
no problem. That's pretty much why I said all those things anyways. I was just trying to lay. I was trying to, a tasty seed. I was trying to lay a foundation.
Oh my God. No, in all seriousness, though, I do think, like, God forbid, more than 3 people might be gracing this podcast with their ears right now. But
yeah, I don't typically think people make it this far into my podcast, but
hey, today might be different.
Maybe they're on a road trip.
Anyway,
drive safely.
Here's what I was going to say.
What?
If you're looking for a sign to make a big move, to put yourself out there, to figure yourself out, to find who you are, to give yourself some freedom, this is your fucking sign. Just do it. And you and I, like, thought about moving for so long. We thought about making the big move. I thought about quitting this job that I was in. The amount of growth that I've had just in the last, I don't know, how long have we been here? Not even 6 months at this point.
It's been October, November, December, January. So it's like 4.5 months.
Yeah. So the growth that I've had in the last 5 months has been and you too, has been exponentially more than when we were in Bellevue, just because we have so much more mental freedom.
Yeah.
And also it's easier living. So anyway.
I like that.
It's never too early and it's never too late.
I think if we had more time, I next Tuesday, everyone. Sarah said she's going to be on the episode next Tuesday, episode 11.
I said we could negotiate every 5.
Fuck. I think the next time you're on here, I want to talk to you about your perspective on the move and how it was inspired. Because I talk about it. My story is aggressive. And
totally.
It always ends up being aggressive. Like when I talk about hating Seattle and like I couldn't wait to get the fuck out. I had this guy I was playing Xbox with the other day. He was asking me about, he was like, so why Nashville? I'm like, why fucking Seattle? Like, what do you mean?
Seriously.
And I don't know. I would love to get your perspective on like what went on in your head, like when we were about to. You don't have to go into it now, but
do you want to hear my short answer?
I mean, sure. Yeah, like go for it. Yeah.
So whenever anyone asks me, like, because I get asked this a lot at work, or even like I went and got my hair cut and she asked me, she's like, why'd you end up moving? And honestly, the only thing I can say is it's sheer intuition. Like I just knew to my very core that it was time for us to leave and that we had bigger things waiting for us here and that we had to make a big jump in order to unlock this next chapter. Had we not, I think it would have taken us a long time and a lot of heartache to like start figuring some things out.
And now, and for the people that would argue like, well, why Nashville? Like, what if it was another place? Like, what would you say to that? Because
I would say
I've heard that multiple times of like, well, what if you weren't meant to go to Nashville? Like, then what the fuck do you do? Like, I think that also holds a lot of people back in terms of their big move. I think if they were to make a move, they're so concerned about moving to the exact place at the exact time they're supposed to be at that they freeze up, create excuses, and don't ever fucking do it.
Okay, so what would I say to them? To the people
that... How do you convince someone like that?
Well, first of all, if someone is saying, like, why Nashville, to you and I specifically, I would say, mind your own fuckhole.
Well, duh. Like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Like, let's, because if you know us on any sort of an intimate level, I think you know that it's been a good change. But again, it comes down to intuition. We visited here. We thought about moving here. And I just had a good feeling.
Yeah.
People were nice. It's a small, big town here, so you get that downtown vibe, but it also is, like, pretty small as far as city goes, and it just felt right. And so I think my only answer is follow your intuition, trust your gut, and do not, for 1 second, listen to any friend, brother, sister, parent, grandparent that tries to convince you out of something that feels right.
That is so
you need to walk
fucking true.
So far away from that energy.
Yeah. Yeah, do not listen to fucking anyone other than like you and your partner or friend or whoever you're moving with, like,
or someone that knows you really well.
Stick to your fucking plan and go.
Is that your time's up?
That's
it. On that note,
I think that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
What did you think? Would you do this again?
7 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yes, I would do it again. I love you. Thank you for the kind words. And yes, I would do this again.
I think one day you'll do this on your own. And it'll be way cooler and way more professional.
Stop.
But I'll help you with the setup and everything. I'll sit behind the camera with 2 thumbs up like, yeah, that was a good one.
No.
Yeah, keep going. That's good. Good content.
Stop.
All right, cool. I think we're good.
Okay.
Thanks for doing this. I know you were skeptical because we've tried this before and it didn't end up too well.
That's all right. We've moved forward.
But this went well, right?
Yeah.
In comparison?
Well. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Anyway, we said we're going to end it, so we should probably end it.
All right, wow. Hey, all right, take it easy. What, are you going to go get some more wine?
No, I'm going to go read with Bud.
Oh, okay. Hey, he's already sleeping. He's done.
Everyone,
all right, we're done.
have a good rest of your week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.